Hello, you're watching the Sunbeam Alpine channel on YouTube. Thank you for watching. I hope you've subscribed. When we first bought this car back in 1983, it was 18 years old and a bit of an old banger. And we were doing all we could to keep it on the road, modifying it and trying to make it better. And we've just really carried on doing that because it's never going to be concours, it's never going to be a standard car. We just try and make it a car that we can use as much as possible, and it'll be safe and reliable. And touch wood, that's what Alpi is. What we're going to do today is fit an intermittent windscreen wiper switch for the car. Those of you that watch this channel regularly know that we use Alpi all the year round. We've got various modernizations on the car, if you like. We have a heated front windscreen, we've got hazard warning lights, we've got electric fans. Really, you need these things if you're going to use an old car as an everyday driver. Well, I was out recently and it was just drizzling a little. It was constantly switching the windscreen wiper on and off, just to clear the screen. And I thought, well, this can't be doing the switch much good. And one of my friends has been using this intermittent kit, so I thought I'd get it and give it a go. It comes from Retronics, who we've used before. It comes with all the necessary instructions. And what we're going to do, because we have all these additional switches on Alpi, we're going to just adjust that and try and clean it up a little bit underneath the dashboard so that everything fits nicely and works well together. So I hope you enjoyed the video. The wiring to fit the intermittent wiper switch is actually really simple. Use a Scotch block to tap into the feed on the wiper motor that goes to the parking unit section, and then you have a 10 amp fuse in the wire that supplies the intermittent wiper block to protect it. Then you take a separate feed from any ignition switch feeds local to it. I took it from the back of the fan switch, and that has a 2 amp fuse in the line. Then you connect the other two connections that are shown in the instructions to earth, and that is it, job done. The kit seems to come with everything you're likely to need to fit it. It's just a question of me finding some space under the dashboard and making the other switches live nicely alongside this one. That's the Kenlo switch down. That's the hazard warning light switch down, disconnected there. And I've got the heated front windscreen loose as well, so all of these switches are hanging loose, and I've got some space along here that I'm going to utilise to make a little, like a smaller dashboard bit, if you like. Okay, these are all the parts that are connected up to give you an intermittent wiper operation. This little Scotch lock here, I don't like using these, but really it's the best way to do this job today. I'm going to put that on the little brown wire that goes across the wiper motor to the parking position. So I'm just going to tap into that wire to pick up there. There's a 10 amp fuse in there, that's the supply that goes to this unit. This is the switch that will do the controlling of the wipers being on and off. And up here, I've got to pick up a main supply that will go through a 2 amp fuse into the unit, and these are 2 earths. All of these are connected to the various numbered positions down here. Relatively simple wiring, very good instructions. Now we're going to put this into the car and start to run the wires to pick up the necessary earths and supplies. Right, I've got all the connections hanging down here now looking like spaghetti. Now if I turn the ignition on, I've got the ignition on here on the car now, you can see the red light there. Now if I give a bit of water on the screen to lubricate it, if I turn the wipers on, that's normal, slow operation, and that will be the faster speed there. Okay, I'll turn those off, a bit more water. Now this is the switch that controls the intermittent. I've turned it once, just one connection, the wipers are off, but it's going about every 2 seconds. A little pause, and then off we go again. Now you can take that all the way up to 12 seconds if you want. That's all going to work, that's going to be fine. If I put the wiper switch on, it overrides the intermittent and I've got constant wipers. Now it's time to put the panel back into position. This is the new little panel I've made for the additional switches. Note here, this is where the rotary switch for the intermittent wipers will go. There's an extra little hole, there's a spigot on the switch that goes in there so that when you twist it, it doesn't spin in the hole. So that's what I've made. Now I'm going to fit that out and then put it onto the car. And here I am sizing up the fitments. You can see where the switches are going to go. That will be the fan, that will be the heated windscreen. This will be the intermittent wipers that can be cut down to length, and I'll do that in a moment. And this will be the hazard warning lights. A nice simple control panel when that's finished. When you're happy that you've cut the spigot on the switch to the correct length, you put the knob on, and then there's a nut in the knob that you turn. As you tighten that nut, it makes the knob grip to the spigot. You put the little end cap on and it is job done. Really pleased with this. Okay, the job is now done. We've got a nice little neat panel. Doesn't get in the way of your feet when you're getting in or out of the car, and it's got all of the additional controls on it here. They're all wired up and they're all working. Let's turn the ignition on. Right. So, twin fans. Heated windscreen. Just give the screen a little bit of water. Yeah, and now we'll put the intermittent wipers on. There we go, that's nice. Put those off again. Hazard lights. All looking good. Okay, job done.